Hi everyone, following on from my previous videos which were about title deed fraud, which I hope has been helpful to you, I would like to cover yet another way where somebody is able to steal your land, part of your land or an entire property from under your nose, but legally. It's called adverse possession. What is adverse possession? Well, it's a very old law that basically means that when a person or persons occupy a land or part of your land for a minimum period, which is currently 12 years, they may apply for ownership of that land, called title absolute. But how does it work? Well, if it's an entire piece of land, it's basically self-explanatory. If a third party occupies and uses that land without the owner's permission for a period of 12 years, in the 10th year, as the law currently stands, they make an application to the land registry. The land registry, now following changes to legislation in 2002, will notify the registered owner. Once again, remember what I said about updating the name and the address on a title deed. They notify the owner, and if there is no objection, then in the 12th year the possessories are granted title absolute. The land becomes theirs, lock, stock and barrel. The same applies with a property. Throughout the UK there are thousands of empty abandoned properties boarded up. I'm sure you've seen them for various reasons. A lot of them are where British people perhaps moved to Australia in the 70s under the assisted migration scheme. They passed away in Australia. Their heirs maybe don't even have a clue that they have a property somewhere in the UK. Quite often, if people die in the same local authority area as the property, when the local authorities find out about that property, if the person has died intestate and the property is basically abandoned, the councils normally seize possession of the properties. But where they have no clue because the owner has died abroad, for example, the properties sit there for years and years, just becoming derelict. Now, how it works with a property is you would literally gain access to the property, change the lock, or if the door's broken, place a gate in front of the door with a lock that you are able to unlock anytime, so you have unhindered access to the property at any time, once again without the permission of the owner, for a period of 12 years. And to make your application successful, perhaps you would divert some mail there, register something there, some mail comes in your name to that address that's dated, collect a few receipts, bits and pieces, whatever the case may be, maybe having some work done, and then obviously the receipt would have the address. And then in the 10th year you make an application for adverse possession to the land registry and pay a fee. I think the form is ADV1, and once again, if there is no objection, then on the 12th year you gain title absolute and the entire property is yours, lock, stock and barrel. But there is a more sinister way that this can happen, which is really immoral. And that is where somebody starts to use part of your land. It could be your garden, it could be your drive, it could be part of your farm. Whatever the case is, they start to use it, once again, without your permission, but the owner doesn't act upon it. And then, literally, after 12 years, that land then belongs to them. Now here's a case. This was posted by a solicitor. Can't read it. One moment, sorry. Okay. One recent case involved a couple who owned a strip of land next to their home. They didn't use it, so weren't too concerned when a neighbour parked his car there, nor did they see any problem when the neighbour fitted a chain between two posts to cordon off the area for his exclusive use. This went on for 20 years until the couple discovered that the land had been removed from their title plan on the land registry's official records. Instead, it appeared on their neighbour's registered title. The couple took legal action to recover the land but lost their case. The adjudicator held that the neighbour had acquired title by adverse possession. The neighbour still had a receipt for the chain and posts he had acquired 20 years earlier. This equipment demonstrated that he had intended to use and acquire the land. He had been allowed to use it unchallenged and was therefore entitled to claim ownership. That's scary, isn't it? If you picked up, the adjudicator held that the neighbour had acquired title by adverse possession, but what is key here is that the person had demonstrated that he had intended to use and acquire the land, and he was unchallenged, and he basically stole part of his neighbour's land. This could happen to you. So what do you need to do? Check, is anybody using your land or part of your land and you have not raised an objection? Check all your boundaries. Have they mysteriously, without you noticing, or with you noticing but not acting, been moved 1 foot in your, or 2 foot, or 1 meter in your neighbour's favour? If you are uncertain, once again, you can contact the land registry. You can have your boundaries checked, measured, etc. Because these things don't just happen by accident. People don't just accidentally move a fence 1 foot, 1 meter or more. They do so with a plan to steal your land. So in the event that you suspect that a neighbour is trying to take part of your property, then get legal advice immediately. I'm not a solicitor, so I can't give you advice. I can only tell you what's happening and point you in the right direction. And the last thing I would want would be to actually give you advice when I'm not supposed to, and that could cost you dearly. But by all means, if you feel that you have any possibility of this happening to you, feel free to get in touch and I will do my best to point you in the right direction. And I hope this helped. It's quite a lot to take in. Watch it 2-3 times. I've written a blog article about it as well, where I've quoted the law as written on the government's website with a link to the full article. So please feel free to take a look there. And as always, if you have any questions, get in touch. Contact me, Antony@trellos.com, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.